Helo, Geraint Iwan dwi, a Mae S4C di gofyn I fi I addysgu chi am aelodau carfan Cwpan y Byd Cymru yn 1958. Heddiw, dwi'n mynd I ddeitha chi am Terry Medwin, a dwi'n mynd I ddeud bob dim am I yrfa fo. Yn yr amser, mae'n gymryd I Owain Tudur Jones darllen llyfr cyfa blasu Manon Steffan Ross. Faint amser ti'n meddwl mae'n mynd I gymryd chdi darllen hwnna?
300 o dudalennau, 8 munud.
Perffaith. Wnaeth Terry gychwyn I yrfa yn Abertawe, lle nath o chwarae bron I 150 o gema a sgorio 60 o goliau. Wedyn nath o arwyddo I Tottenham Hotspur yn 1956. Wel, mae'n bwysig cofio, Terry oedd y cynta'r criw yma I arwyddo I glwb mawr yn Lloegr, ac oedd hynny oherwydd oedd I chwarae mor dda I Abertawe. Nath pethau ddechrau'n wych iddo fo hefyd, gan bod wedi sgorio 2 gol yn I gêm gyntaf I Spurs yn ebyn Preston North End. A, fel I gyfaill Cliff Jones, mi oedd yn un o'r enwau cyntaf y team sheet yn oes air Spurs. Parath nhw ennill y dwbl yn 61 a cwpan yr FA yn 62. Ond, yn anffodus, dim ond blwyddyn wedyn, mi oedd rhaid iddo fo ymddeol yn fuan gan bod wedi torri I goes. Nath o orffan I yrfan Spurs wedi chwarae 197 o gema a sgorio 65 gol. Dros y cyfnod yma hefyd wrth gwrs, mi gath o 30 o gapiau I Gymru, 4 o heini yn ystod Cwpan y Byd. Nath o hefyd sgorio yn Cwpan y Byd I gol o nath guro'r gêm i ni yn ebyn Hwngari yn y play-off, nath fynd â ni drwad I chwarae yn erbyn Brasil. Wan, os da chi'n meddwl am y peth, fo oedd y dwythau I sgorio mewn cystadleuaeth fawreddog I Gymru tan I Gareth Bale sgorio yn ebyn Slovacia yn 2016. A hyd heddiw, fod i'r Cymro dwytha erioed I sgorio mewn Cwpan y Byd. So, lle ti arni?
Dwi wrth yn dysgu am Mena Arthur ym Mhwllheli 1967. Hanner ffordd.
Hanner ffordd, a fi na fyd. Dros y 15 mlynedd cyntaf ar ôl I Terry Medwin ymddeol, mi fydd o'n gweithio fel y fforddwr I Gaerdydd, Fulham a Norwich. Hefyd yn ystod y cyfnod yma, yn 1971, nath o weithio fel y fforddwr I dîm Wales 11 ar eu taith nhw o gwmpas Asia ac Oceana. A pwy oedd y fforddwr y tîm yna, oedd neb llai na Dave Bowen, capten Cymru yn 1958. Yn anffodus, tydi iechyd Terry ddim cystal dyddi yma, ond rhywun sy'n nabod Terry'n iawn ydy Mr Abertawe arlywydd y clwb, Alan Curtis. So we're sat here in what used to be the Vetch, the old Swansea City football ground. It's without doubt the hottest day of the year, in the middle of a second heat wave. The benches are very, very warm. But where exactly are we sat now?
We just in the centre stand. This was the centre stand, the big north bank, which was where I guess the most vocal supporter used to be directly opposite. And then you'd have the west stand and the east stand. The east stand was, we used to call it the new stand, but it had been there for 20 odd years. But still everybody called it the new stand.
Well, this is fantastic because, you know, a lot of stadiums where they are pulled down, there's either a massive multi-storey car park or some apartments. But what they've done here is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it looks great. I mean, you know, my son has got a coffee shop in Swansea Market, so I sort of park, you know, sort of outside just by the Vetch, and I do pop in sort of quite occasionally, and it's great to see it, you know, being used as obviously it's not a football pitch anymore and a football ground. But they've kept it, as I say, you know, there's no houses, the only little bit of a development is right in the corner there. And there's a little five-a-side court there, there's a little play area for the children. So it's great that it's, you know, that there's still some form of, like an element of leisure.
And it's a lovely touch as well, just walk through the old entrance, the bits of the wall are still there, but what I love as well, the centre circle.
Yeah,
still the
centre circle is there. It's hard to believe, you know, that is the centre circle with the Vetch. You try to get your bearings sometimes, and that's actually the first time I come through the gate for quite a while. I mean, it's been many years since I've walked through there, so that was quite a nice little thrill today. But it's great, as you say, you know, it's great that it's being used by the community, and the place holds fond memories for so many people of Swansea.
What was Terry Medwin himself like as, well, around the ground, training ground, and especially in the changing room?
Well, he wasn't a shouter as a baller. I mean, if you met Terry, I mean, he's a really sort of quiet, but he'd always have a quiet word with you, and maybe sort of group of players together. And he was a really good coach, obviously. You know, he played at the top level, coached to Cardiff. I think we took him from Norwich. So his experience and his knowledge of the game was second to none. And I think that he would probably do it in a quieter way. Some of the other coaches, you know, they holler and you know scream and what have you. That was never Terry's way. But he would tell you, you know, what he should have done. He would always. I remember the first time I met Terry after he came back, and the first thing he did, you know, he sort of looked at his size, he looked at your weight, and he would almost get it down to a T. Well, you were about 5'10", 5'11", and then what are you, about 12'6", 12, and he would almost be spot on, you know, with everybody. Everybody bumped to you, sort of weigh him up. Yeah, it's good. No, it's good size for you know, for a striker, and you know, and of course, he'd known what was expected, and you know, he was delighted to come back, but we were obviously delighted as players that Tosh brought Terry back to the club as well. It was a really great appointment.
Pa ddodd Terry I Abertawe fel hyfforddwr yn anffodus, mi oedd hynny o dan amgylchiadau eitha trist.
Slight sad, you know, little edge to the story, because Harry Griffiths, as I say, what I mentioned a bit earlier, had taken over. Harry was a player, he was a coach, he was a physio. He literally did everything at the club. But unfortunately, he passed away on that sort of route to the old First Division. And Terry was brought in, then Tosh brought Terry in, not as a replacement, but he came in and took over from Harry. And because again, you know, he was Swansea born, he knew what the club was about, he knew the traditions of the club. Because Terry was actually born across the road there in the prison. Not that his father or mother or father were in, but they used to work in the prison. So Terry was actually born literally, you know, 10 yards away from the vetch field. Health is not too great at the moment, but he played a huge part in us getting that old ride from the old 4th Division to the First Division.
Gwtio fyny. Trysor o dudalennau bler ac ysgrifen blentynaidd mam yn cofnodi fy etifeddiaeth o siwgr, spices, blawd a halen. Gorffan.
A fi'n addyd. Ei, ti'n abod Alan Curtis, wyt?
O, yndw. Ei, be o mi lygyd glas o.
Oh, beautiful.